Mic check 1 2 1 2. What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Tank be chopping, and I'm back with another haircut tutorial. Alright guys, so as y'all can see, my client's got a mullet going. We are gonna be doing a mullet. We trimming it down though, you know what I'm saying? His mom didn't want it too long anymore, so we're gonna be trimming it all down. And we're not gonna go too high and too far back on the mullet area, on the faded area, I mean. So we're gonna keep that kinda, I don't wanna say low, we're not necessarily doing like a low taper, but we're just not going as high as we normally would when I would do like a full on mullet. But anyways, as you can see what I'm doing here, guys, I'm saturating my client's hair, you know, everything on top and everything on the back. We're just getting it all nice and prepped, ready for me to start my shear work. Alright, so what I'm gonna do is, as you can see, I'm combing my client's hair forward, and I'm gonna start in the crown area. I'm gonna pull up a little bit of hair, and then I'm gonna set my initial guideline. And as you can see, now I'm moving forward, bringing up that initial guideline every time. That way, any hair that's longer than that guideline, I'm gonna cut off. Alright, so now that my initial guideline is set in, what I'm gonna be doing is I'm gonna be setting my sections in the opposite way. And I'm still having that initial guideline in every section that I pull up, and I'm gonna use that to basically let me know how much I need to cut off the rest of the top of this haircut. And I'm gonna go all the way right with it, and then I'm gonna go all the way to the left with it. And like I said earlier, guys, we are trimming the back also, but we are still gonna keep it longer. So once I get to that part, I'm gonna actually explain a little better what I'm doing on the back. I forgot what I was gonna say. Oh yeah, so his mom styles his hair over, you know, she combs it over to the left. So that's why you see me combing it over to the left, because she does give him like a comb over type look on the top. So I wanted to make sure that that looked good combed over. Alright, so as you can see now, guys, I'm moving on to the back of this mullet. And what I did was I created my first section in the middle, you know, right below the crown area on the back side of his head. And I set in a section, and I'm following that section, or I'm sorry, I set in a guideline, and I followed that guideline all the way down to my left and to my right. And even though, you know, I am trimming the back down, I'm not trimming the back as short as I'm trimming the top, because, you know, we want a little bit more length on the back of this mullet. Alright, so now that my shear work is done, I'm actually going in with my Low Pro FX clipper. And what I have here is I'm actually using my the new Babyliss premium guards. I have my number 4 guard on my clipper, and I'm just debulking this part of the mullet area. That way I can actually get like a level playing field and see what exactly the hair is doing and what needs to be done to give this this mullet a good look. So like I said, guys, this is my number 4 guard. I'm just debulking the sides. I'm coming right up to, you know, basically where the longer hair is, and I'm floating that clipper up and away. And I don't know if y'all are paying attention, but I did come behind the ear a little bit, and I'm gonna be doing that again right now. So like I said earlier, guys, his mom normally doesn't go too far behind the ear with the mullet. So you know, I try to keep it a little closer to like a taper area, like a taper, but this time she wanted to bring it a little more, so I did go behind the ear a little more on this one. And now this is my 3 guard lever close, and I'm doing the same exact thing I did with my number 4 guard. Only difference is I'm coming right below that, and I'm floating that clipper up and away. You know, when you have thinner hair, when you're cutting thinner hair, you can actually get away with not having to open and close your lever as much, or basically you can like skip some steps. So normally I would have went in with my 3 open, but I decided just to use my 3 closed, and it worked pretty good. And then what you see me doing now is I'm just setting in, you know, that mullet guideline, and then I'm lining them up above and behind the ear a little bit. And now I'm hitting that bald, you know, the bald area with my Uno shaver. And now I'm going in with my clipper with my lever open, and I'm following the same shape, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to come up and to the back, so that's why I set in my guideline that way. So my lever is open, I'm coming up a section. I would normally say about 3/4 of an inch, but we are cutting the kid, he has less room. So we're coming up, you know, about 1/2 an inch or so, and then I'm closing my lever notch by notch and working my way down. And now I'm going in with my number 1 guard. And the same thing, guys, I'm following that same shape, coming up another section, lever open, using a slight flick out motion, and then I'm gonna close my lever and attack the bottom of this section. Alright, so this is my 0.5 guard, and I'm going in with my lever halfway closed, and I'm just attacking the bottom of this previous section. And the reason why is, it didn't fade out completely, so I started with my lever halfway closed, and then I closed it all the way. And then now what I'm doing is, this is my number 2 guard. So basically, as I said earlier, guys, I debulked this area with the 4 and then the 3. So now I'm going in with my 2 lever open, and then I'm gonna close my 2 and come right below that. And that's basically debulking all this area, basically doing some down faded technique just to get this area a little more cleaner. And then what I'm gonna do here is, this is my number 4 guard, and I'm just cleaning up the top of this area again. Oh, I'm sorry, this is my number 3 guard, my bad, not my 4. This is my number 3 guard, and I'm doing the same thing that I did earlier in the cut, just basically, just a little bit of detail work. Not too much, I don't want to overdo the detail work yet, but I felt that it needed to be cleaned up a little bit in that area, so that's what I'm doing my number 3 guard. And now this is my 1.5. And I'm gonna try to clean up, the rest of these little discrepancies that I see in the blended area. And then after this is basically my, this is basically all my steps. The blend is gonna be done after this, but obviously it needs to be cleaned up a little bit. But for the most part, it's done. So now everything you see me do is gonna be detail work. So this is my number 4 guard, and I'm just going back in, cleaning everything up. Basically, this is my longest guard that I'm gonna use, and this is just tying the taper area into the longer hair on top. As you can see here, guys, I'm setting in my initial guideline for my lineup, starting off in the middle of my client's forehead, setting in that line, and then moving my way over. And as you can see, I got that comb combing his hair that comes in front of his hairline, combing that up, that way his hair doesn't fall in the way. You can use a clip if you like. I do sometimes, but most of the time I just grab a comb and comb the hair up because it's easier and it's quicker for me. Alright, so now I'm lining him up behind the ear, just cleaning up all that I didn't finish earlier in the cut. And now we're moving on to the opposite side, and we're gonna be doing the same exact thing. So I did say that he combed his hair over, to the left side a little bit. So as you can see, that's what I'm doing here. I'm continuing to comb the hair over every time I cut a little bit because I want to see the way it's gonna lay. His mom did want me to put a part in it. However, she didn't want me to part it where his hair naturally parts. She didn't want the part on top of his head. She wanted it more on the side. So you're gonna see later on this side of the cut how I decided to put that part in. But let's go ahead and talk about these new Babyliss premium guards. So I've had these guards for the same amount of time that I've had these clippers. I've been using them. I know I don't have a bunch of videos of me using them, and the reason for that is obviously it's easier for me to describe what I'm doing when I can see the color guards. But for the most part, I use them throughout the days. Basically every time I use these clippers, I use those guards, and I use those guards on my other clippers, and the guards work really well. Like, I really like these guards a lot. The plastic that they're made out of seem really, to me they seem really durable. I like the way they snap onto the clipper. They fit on most clippers. The only clippers they don't really fit on is like the Oster, the Fast Feeds, and the Masters. But like if you use any Stylecraft tools, any Babyliss tools, any Walls tools, Caliber, all those clippers that use the same, well, I don't want to say the same blade, but the blade that's similar, the same blade size, these guards will fit on. And like I said, guys, like I really rock with these guards a lot. One thing that I really like about these guards is the half guard or the 0.5 guard. I feel like it's the best half guard in the game right now. And I know a lot of people say that Wall has the best half guard, but I think Babyliss outdid themselves with at least with the 0.5 guard. Like, for me, I think it's the best 0.5 guard in the game right now. But like I said, that's just my opinion, and I just wanted to talk to y'all a little bit about these guards because I ain't really talked about them too much. I might be doing a comparison video later on about these, with these guards, the Wall guards, and maybe the Gamma Dubs, but we'll see. You know what? If y'all want me to do a video like that, y'all let me know down in the comments if y'all think I should. But anyways, guys, let's get back to this haircut. As you can see, I'm finishing this side of my client's, I want to say taper, but I know it's just the blended area of the mullet, but we'll just say the tapered area for the sake of this video. So as you can see, guys, I line my client up. I'm going back in, doing some detail work. And once again, guys, the longest clip that I used was a 4, and then I used guards lower than a 4 to make that blend, you know, look the way it does. And now I'm setting it apart at an angle. So I basically started, you know, in the corner, and I'm coming up at an angle. I'm not coming straight back, and I'm not coming too high up. I'm trying to keep that same angle, basically to where basically how his normal part would be set in, but only, you know, lower in the corner area. And as you can see here, guys, I'm going over my client's lineup with the razor. I'm just trying to get these lines nice and sharp. You know, basically just trying to get these lines as sharp as I can get them. Alright guys, so check it out. This is how my client came into the shop looking. This is the before look, and this is the after. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this haircut in the comment section. If y'all like this video, please make sure to smash that like button. Also, if you're new to my channel, make sure and subscribe one time for your boy. Remember guys, if you're in the Houston, Texas area and you're trying to get a cut by your boy, you can go to my website, tankbchopping.com. You can schedule an appointment, and if you want it to be for YouTube, make sure you put that in the comment section. That way I know. And that's basically it, YouTube. I appreciate y'all for watching. Until next time, let's go.